Hello and welcome to episode 0 of how to make a resource pack. In today's episode, we're going to be showing which programs you're going to actually need to be able to make the resource pack, as well as exactly how to set up your files to make it easier while we develop the resource pack in future episodes. To start off, I would suggest finding a drawing tool. And in my case, I have 3 different drawing tools right here. Each of them at different price points. The easiest and probably the one that you will go with is probably paint.net. It's a free program. You're able to do pixel art, especially specifically transparent pixel art. This is not Microsoft Paint. It's different. Microsoft Paint doesn't allow you to do transparent images. Paint.net does. Then there's Aseprite. Aseprite you could get via Steam. You could find it on Steam for about $10 if I'm correct, $10-15. And then there's Affinity Designer. Affinity Designer is kind of like Photoshop except cheaper, and it's a one-time purchase. I highly suggest it if you want to do other kind of art. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to be using Aseprite because this program is made specifically for pixel art, but you could follow along exactly with Paint.net. And we're going to actually learn how to download the programs specifically. So right here we have Paint.net, which I'll be putting down in the description. You can just press this download button right here and it should show up. Then you should be able to install it perfectly fine. And then there is WinRAR, which is the other program we're going to need, which is going to help us with extracting the files for the different assets. And by assets, I mean all like the textures in Minecraft, as well as like text and other things that you see visually within the game. WinRAR is also free. It will say that it's a trial. This is part of their marketing scheme technically, is putting it as a trial, but it's fully free. So you can either download the 64-bit or the 32-bit, depending on what your system is. To be able to check what it is or what your system is, you could just go to your settings, and then I have it already open up my other screen. You could go to you're gonna want to go to your system inside of your settings area, and then go to your about section. And then if you look right here under system type, it should say right here whether you're a 64-bit or a 32-bit, and depending on what it is, download the one that corresponds to you. Now that you've downloaded that, I would suggest making a folder specifically for your resource pack development. In this case, I've already created one right here, and I've already set up some stuff. This is just mostly for reference for future episodes, but you're going to want to create a new folder. And to create a new folder, you just right click on the inside the folder, new, do folder, name it whatever you want. In this, well, I would suggest naming it the name of your resource pack. And in there, we're going to be putting in everything that you're going to need. The easiest thing to do is starting off with a PNG file for your pack. This is the thing that when you open up Minecraft and look in the resource pack folder, it'll say the name, or it'll show the image inside of the resource packs area, like these images right here. By default, it's cobblestone, kind of like that. And then you're going to need a pack.mc meta. The pack.mc meta is just like the tag that goes along with your program. I'm going to be putting this file down in the description, this MC meta file. So in this case, I'm making a resource pack for 1.16.5 to be more exact. But as long as we have the pack format, which is representative of the version of Minecraft or the version of resource pack updates, then it shouldn't show up as red. If you have 5 or 4, or if you have 7, it'll come up as red and say whether it's made for an older or a newer update. Otherwise, you should be fine. And then down here in the description, this is where you could set the color as well as the name of your resource pack. And I have these little prefixes which change the color of your title, I guess. And to be able to change the color of your title, you could look right here, and you could pause the screen technically. We have all these different color codes, and they have these weird like S symbols. I'll link this down in the description as well, so that way you can copy and paste. But here are all the different color codes. This left side is exactly what you need. You don't need any of this other stuff. Just the name of the code, so that way you know which one it is. Now, the next thing that you're gonna end up having to do is actually open up Minecraft. So we're gonna end up having to pull out the assets of every single texture in the game. Now, the easiest way to do that is going to your resource packs and then opening up the pack folder. From here, you could go back to your .minecraft folder, and then you're gonna go to your versions. In my case, I'm gonna be making a resource pack for 1.16. You could pull from the Optifine one if you have Optifine installed, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's still going to be pulling out the same textures. Now, using WinRAR, which is where the program comes into use, we're going to be opening up the program with it. Now, it should bring up there's like a pre-prompt saying that you're going to have to pay in like 30 days. That doesn't matter. You could exit out of that. You're going to end up getting like this entire folder full of stuff. Don't worry, you're not going to need just about everything in here except for this folder right here. Now this, I would suggest putting into your main like textures, or into your main development folder. So I would just drag that into here. You could just drag click it and it'll make a copy of it. It won't mess up your version. It won't mess up Minecraft. You'll be fine. And then you'll have every single texture imaginable in Minecraft right here at your hand. And then once you've done that, what I would suggest is keep it separate from your actual resource pack. This is mostly to save on space for the resource pack itself. I personally do this. It's a good way for resource pack developers to save on storage for the users that download it. It's a good practice. You don't need to do it, but I would suggest it. If you don't want to do that, you could just drag the assets folder inside of here and just keep all the textures and everything and modify it as you go. But I will say it is a lot cleaner if you are just to replicate all the folders and just have them all empty like I do here. So I copy the names of every single folder within the assets folder itself of the original, and it'll make it way easier further down the line when you're trying to figure out what textures that you still need to finish, because you could just drag from one folder and drag it to the other assets folder. Way easier. Other than that, that's going to do it for this episode. I'll try to do this series bi-weekly and try to get out 2 episodes every single week. In the next episode, we're going to be going over how to exactly change the textures of blocks. So make sure to either download paint.net, Sprite, or some other drawing program that allows you to make transparent images. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching.